So Tesla's announced vehicle deliveries for Q1 2025, and it's much worse than expected. It wasn't expected to be very good, but it's worse than that. We're going to dig into this article to find out more, but let's just run through the headlines a little bit first. There's a lot going on. Like this, Tesla sales plunge. Biggest decline in history, says CNN Business, and it's really deliveries rather than sales, but it's much the same thing, really. And this here, the Tesla takedown movement, the protest movement, which I've been reporting on, and the boycott, and they're pretty happy about this. It seems to be having an impact. They said today, huge news, Tesla is experiencing its biggest sales decline in history. The grassroots Tesla takedown movement is having an incredible impact, but the work isn't done yet. Keep up the pressure. There are global protests happening weekly, and as I reported after last weekend, they did escalate even more. But there's this news as well. We'll continue with the headlines because there are quite a few. Tesla surges on report Elon Musk is leaving Doge. White House denies it though. So that was reported today too. There was this criticism about Elon Musk hurting Tesla, him being with Doge. The public doesn't like it. The protests are happening, but it seems to be a bit of a beat up at the moment. I mean, he's expected to leave anyway, but he seems to like the power. I'm sure he doesn't like what's happening to Tesla, but he does seem to like the power that he's getting from it. So Electric says Tesla stock surged in a report that Elon Musk is leaving the Department of Government Efficiency soon. Investors appear happy that Musk will spend more time on Tesla, even though the company's brand issues are linked to Musk. And then an update, the White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt has denied the report, but people do call her propaganda Barbie, so you really don't know if that's true or not. I guess we'll find out. So the stock did surge initially during the day, even though this bad news came out, and there were other reasons for that too, and we'll have a look at them, but it's gone down after hours hugely as I record this, and we'll see that. And this was one of the articles, the headlines. Trump tells Inner Circle that Musk will leave soon. The president is pleased with Elon Musk, but the decision comes as the tech mogul increasingly looks like a political liability. And that was partly because of the Wisconsin election that I reported on, where he put huge amount of money into that judicial race, an election for judges, and it failed. He put so much money into that, wore the cheese hat, if you saw that, talked about how important it was, and it failed. So is his political power waning that he couldn't buy this election? He couldn't bribe his way into this. So this is the Tesla stock price as I'm looking at it now. It's actually down after hours 7.27% after being up during the day there. But the main reason for that doesn't seem to be that Elon, these rumors that Elon might be leaving Doge. It was for other reasons. Mainly this one, that Trump sets 10% global tariff, slaps bigger duties on certain partners. So yes, and the market isn't liking this. It's one of the biggest drops, I think, since the pandemic dropped the market that time. So we'll have to see what happens. By the time you watch this, you may know what happened, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens tomorrow. And then we have this headline from Mother Jones. Elon Musk tried to buy Wisconsin Supreme Court. He lost. So Susan Crawford's victory means liberals will preserve their majority on the court. So Elon tried very hard here. He went to Green Bay, to Wisconsin. He was on stage there. I reported on this. He was actually heckled by people, and he accused George Soros plants in there, which is kind of ridiculous. All the usual stuff, but significantly, he did not win that election. He put in over 270 million to Trump's campaign and helped out. So is it not working now? Will Trump get sick of him? We'll have to see. But Fred Lambert from Electric says, I love to see Tesla stock price all-ins taking a victory lap on Tesla having its worst delivery results in 3 years. It beautifully illustrates how the stock is disconnected from reality. The company is deeply broken and they are celebrating. Yet I'm the Tesla hater. I don't hate Tesla. I hate what is happening with Tesla and its mission, and I don't care about the stock. So yes, it does seem that it's disconnected from reality. Sometimes it just wildly swings on rumor. Seems to be a bit of a meme stock, as Fred also says. And this too, this meme does sort of say it, I think. So Tesla investors are hoping for robotaxis this year. Elon Musk has said that every year, next year, and now he's giving a little bit more detail. That's meant to be in June, I think, rolling out in Austin. Will it be remote, teleoperated, supervised from remotely? That's my guess. And geofenced in quite a restricted way rather than going wide. So it remains to be seen whether this will have much of an impact, but they really do need to roll it out. And in the meantime, Waymo is increasing. Got a lot of cars on the road, more than 150,000 paid rides a week. I think at this point, probably way more than that by now. That was a few months ago. And so Fred Lambert says here, I think Tesla has become a complete meme stock, and its value almost entirely hinges on people believing Elon Musk is a super genius. Okay, so that's Joe Rogan. Yesterday's video was about Joe Rogan. He just worships Elon Musk. And not a compulsive liar, despite all the evidence to the contrary. I mean, I agree with that. Elon's just full of lies. I think more and more people are catching on to that. He's not a genius at all. He just went along with other people saying that, including Joe Rogan telling his millions of followers, listeners. And Joe Rogan has slipped in the podcast rankings, by the way. I've reported on that too. I've made videos about that. Slipped from number 1 to number 2. Midas Touch, the liberal political podcast, is number 1 now. And Fred followed this up. Elon joins the US government. Tesla surge. Elon leaves the US government. Tesla surge. It doesn't make sense. It's a meme stock. And it's a good point, because when he did join with Trump there, the stock rocketed before the election, and then it's been going down. And so when he's announced that it's leaving, it's gone up again. So it does seem like the biggest meme stock in the world. And this headline, Tesla's delivery miss means bigger brand issues in the US. Cybertruck is dead weight. So yes, the Cybertruck has been having problems. Says it's worse than anyone expected. The results were also much lower than expectations for the quarter. Analysts expected roughly stable deliveries in China and the US, while they saw Tesla being down about 30,000 units in Europe. And we have seen in Europe how fewer people are buying Teslas, frankly, since he did that fascist salute, whether it was accidental or not. I mean, he's backed it up with a lot of tweets that seems like it wasn't accidental, seemed to be a white supremacist, and backs a whole lot of causes. Well, causes being sort of, far-right political causes for sure. And so Electric says this, Tesla is sitting on $200 million worth of Cybertruck inventory. So the Cybertruck is not going well. They wanted to sell 250,000 of these a year. It should be kind of fully ramped up by now, and they're really not selling the numbers at all. And then there's been these protests going on, and the Cybertruck has been really the target because it's so distinctively Tesla. You can take your logo, your branding off the other cars, and it almost looks like some other cars, but you can't do that with the Cybertruck. So we've seen a lot of impact on the Cybertruck, and maybe people just don't want to buy it. And do MAGA people want to buy an electric truck rather than a fossil fuel vehicle? It seems not. And this also from Electric, a lot of articles from Electric about Tesla because of these delivery numbers today. So I'm just catching up on this. Elon Musk goes full propaganda mode to distract from Tesla's delivery numbers. So he did this before the delivery numbers came out. Elon Jellicles, the Elon Glazers just lap this stuff up about the future. It's all about the future, bro. It's all about robotaxis. It's all about robots. So Elon did go full propaganda. But this headline too, not so great. So we're going to get into more detail about those deliveries, the all-important deliveries now, and another article as well. But in the meantime, if you're liking this video, if you're getting value out of it, do hit that like button to help the algorithm to spread it to more people. I'd really appreciate that, and it does help. Thanks. And now we have this. Tesla announces the deliveries there. We're going to dig a little deeper into this article. According to Tesla compiled analyst consensus, the automaker was expected to report 377,500 deliveries in the first quarter. The Bloomberg consensus for Wall Street analysts is higher at 390,000 deliveries. So today, Tesla reported that delivered 336, so way below expectations. And that's 40 to 55,000 fewer units than expected, depending on the consensus, and down 13% year over year. It's also down 32% quarter over quarter. So we could guess at reasons for this, number of reasons. Talk about the Model Y update, but also those protests, the brand damage. I think that's got quite a lot to do with it. And will this continue? Tesla is blaming the lower deliveries on the production switch to the new Model Y, Electric says, which undoubtedly had an impact, but it's hard to say how much. And the automaker wrote in the release about the production and delivery numbers, while the changeover of Model Y lines across all 4 of our factories led to the loss of several weeks of production in Q1, the ramp of the new Model Y continues to go well. So the Model Y is going well, but deliveries have been lower. As we have previously reported, Model 3 sales, which are not affected by supply issues like Model Y this quarter, were down 30% in Europe for the first 2 months of the year. And that is where Elon meddled in the German election. That had a lot to do with it. I've made a lot of videos about the impact of the brand damage in Elon in Europe. Europe just does not like Elon, let's face it. This points to Tesla also having demand issues, Electric says, and I agree with that. Meanwhile, Tesla's production numbers also confirm that Tesla added about 26,000 electric vehicles to its inventory this quarter. So vehicles piling up. But a miss of 40,000 units would suggest that Tesla is doing worse in the US than expected amid major brand issues and the Model Y changeover. So I did report the other day too, the San Diego numbers were down 35%. So anecdotally, or just bit by bit, we're seeing numbers going down in the US amid all these protests. So Electric says it's hard to place a lot of blame on the Model Y production ramp, which Tesla itself says is going well, especially since Tesla could deliver new Model Y vehicles within a day in the US at the March quarter. This would therefore point to stronger than expected brand damage in the US, not stronger deliveries or sales, stronger brand damage. The energy storage deployment is a silver lining with strong performance for the first quarter. True, but it can't make up for the vehicles. It's just such a high percentage. And here's that confirmation there. I just went to the website as if I was going to buy a new Model Y, and available today. How about that? So Tesla's delivery miss means bigger brand issues in the US. Cybertruck is dead weight, Electric says. What do they mean by that? Tesla's big delivery miss means that the automaker has bigger brand issues than expected in the US. And the Cybertruck is absolutely unsellable. It's nowhere near what Elon wanted. It's his baby. He designed it. I've reported on the recall, the side trim along the top roof, using the wrong glue or whatever, not strong enough for the stainless steel, and it's been peeling off. So they have to recall that. So a lot of brand damage from that as well. Vehicle quality issues, brand issues from Elon. And it's worse than anyone expected, Electric says. And this Tesla Cybertruck is dead weight. They say Tesla is super opaque about vehicle deliveries. They lump it all together, so you can't tell actually how much of each they're selling, or it's not transparent at all. Reminds us of how Elon's saying that Doge is transparent when it's just not. The automaker refuses to break down the deliveries by model, making it harder to track the health of each model. Funny that. It bundles Model 3 and Y together. I don't know why it says that Model Y is the biggest selling car, not just EV, the biggest selling car in the world. Why doesn't it just break it down by model if that's the case? The other models category includes Model S, Model X, Cybertruck, and Tesla semi-deliveries. Why lump all those together? These results with just 12,881 other model deliveries are particularly disappointing for Tesla. Wow, that is just not many. That'll be why they're not breaking it down. And here we have that article. I want to go into this a little bit more detail to see what happened. Elon Musk goes full propaganda mode to distract from Tesla delivery numbers. So he went out with some Optimus robot content and misleading claims about Model Y's popularity. So this was before the deliveries results. Elon tweeting out this propaganda, this so-called optimism or puffery about the future. Trust me, it's the future, bro. CEO Elon Musk, who has mostly stayed away from Tesla in recent months to focus on the efforts at Doge, of course, released a well-timed series of tweets about Tesla this morning, distracting from the upcoming release of the delivery results. It's pretty typical, isn't it? Putting out these tweets to get the Elongelicals excited, so they'll tweet it out further, spread it wide before the delivery results come out, where everybody knew that they weren't going to be great. So pretty obvious marketing ploy. If anything, he's a marketing genius, not a genius, not a super genius, but he is good at marketing, or he has been. But could that come to the end as more and more people start to see through it? The posts include new images of Tesla's Optimus robot walking. I saw those. It wasn't that impressive. It doesn't look like it's changed that much. And there are other humanoid robots out there that do walk much better, it has to be said. A repost of his claim that the humanoid robot will be the biggest product of all time, he said. It could be, but maybe Tesla not having a big chunk of that. We'll see. And a claim that Tesla Model Y was the best-selling vehicle in China. While some of Tesla's progress with the Optimus robot has been impressive, it is mainly related to robotics. On the AI side of things, so we've got AI, that's the kind of brain of the robot, and that's where things are going. Tesla appears to still be lagging behind, as all demonstrations of the robot so far have included humans remotely controlling the robots. Something Tesla hasn't been super upfront about. I covered the We Robot event, and some people were fooled. Even analysts, even Wall Street analysts, were fooled by the fact that they thought it was autonomous and that it wasn't being controlled, but it was so obvious. So Electric says it's a clear distraction. Elon has been promising the moon with Optimus, but the truth is that Tesla is entering a very competitive market in humanoid robots, and it's still way too early to tell who is leading at this point. I've looked into this. There are quite a few humanoid robots, and some of the ones in China are pretty impressive. Even other companies in the US. Going to be a lot of competition, and Tesla doesn't really seem to be ahead at all. The only thing that they could manufacture more quickly than others, but more quickly than China, than some companies in China, I don't know. But they could always put tariffs on, of course, in the US like they have for cars. As for Model Y, Elon can repost non-misinformation spreader and paid propagandist Mario Norfell all he wants, but the fact that Tesla's most popular version of the Model Y, the RWD standard range, which accounts for 90% of Model Y deliveries in China, already needs to be discounted and can be delivered within 2 weeks, proves the demand for the Model Y redesign is soft in China. So we've got soft demand, we've got brand damage, we've got this protest still going on week by week. Elon getting really frustrated, angry with that, lashing out at people. Still carrying on with Doge. The public's being angry. He's blaming left-wing billionaires for paid protesters. There's so much going on here, but really what's happening is it seems to be impacting the Tesla brand, and now deliveries and sales. It seems so obvious, so we'll have to see what happens. But can he keep this up and say it's all about the future? The colony on Mars, trust me. What do you think about this? Do you think that the Tesla brand is damaged beyond recognition? Do you think that there's no way back from here, even if Elon leaves Doge? Do you think that that could regenerate and help the brand? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Now, if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm going to put a link here to a related video. Do go and see that now if you want to. And also a subscribe link on screen. Do subscribe if you're not already to get more of these in the near future. I'm doing these daily. And also hit that join button to support the channel. Truly independent media on a monthly basis, or super thanks for just a one-off. Always appreciated. And thanks for watching this one, and I'll see you in the next one.